Hey guys, what's up? So lately, what the news has been is that move this over here so it's not shaky. So if you guys have been paying attention to the news, which if you've been watching my last videos, I hope you have been. Once again, this is the J Master here in my living room again. Russia. The Russian bears have been kind of pushing the buttons of the world lately. Although I can totally agree with what they were trying to do with Ukraine, they were trying to solve a problem the best they thought. What could be the outcome of that happening? Well, basically, the U.S. because we have to be the big kids on the playground. Once again, we are trying to protect everybody, being the big kids, like I said. And, yeah, so we're kind of just sitting here giving Russia the stink eye, making threats, and basically saying if you don't knock the shit off, we're going to come over there and kick your ass. Well, sorry to say this, guys, but if we go to war with Russia or we start fighting Russia, guys, that's World War III. Yeah, I mean, a lot of you are probably like, oh, it's just going to be Russia. No, we got allies, and Russia has allies. So that means that our allies and their allies are going to start fighting. And what is a world war? Just everybody is basically the two big kids fighting on the playground, and then the friends of the big kids are over there going, yeah, fight, and then all of a sudden everybody jumps each other. So what could that mean for us as Americans? Well, along with the fact that we have Fukushima going on in one area, we now have the threat of Russia. Now, people just don't take this seriously. If you played Modern Warfare 2, you will take this threat seriously. If you have played Battlefield 3, you will take this threat seriously. Any of the Battlefield games for damn near, like Battlefield Bad Company 2, basically all have to do with Russia. I don't know if Call of Duty franchise and, the Frostbite guys, they're all like, dude, someone's about to go down. Not Frostbite, but, the guys that helped create Battlefield, they're like, they knew something was going to happen, so they're making games about, fighting the Russians and stuff like that. Russia is not the people we're fighting over in Iraq. You guys can probably figure that out. Russia, they're a bunch of badasses. They got Spetsnaz. I swear on my right hand to God, I will not mess with Spetsnaz. They are scary. They will kill you for fun. So, what does that mean for you and me as American citizens? Well, if we go to war, guess what? They will enact a draft. I should know this. I just signed, I'm a little late on it because I didn't know that it existed, but my stupidity. I signed in the Selective Services, and basically what that is, I think it's the Selective Services, basically what it is if you turn 18, you're supposed to sign up with these guys. And what happens is when a war or a conflict where they decide to enact a draft, they do something what's called a lottery. But this is a lottery you do not want to win, because this lottery makes it so you will go to war. Whoa, okay, rewind. So let's go back to Vietnam. See, about that point, the draft would come back in. But people were kind of like, I don't want to go to Vietnam. I don't kind of agree with what's going on over there. Because see, in World War II and World War I, we were all like, gung-ho, yeah, go fight the Japs, go kill the Krauts, So the draft, it wasn't a big deal. If you got drafted, you're all like, booyah! But, in Vietnam, people were all like, I don't want to go. So they invented this thing called the lottery. And what the lottery is it makes it so that you just don't get a draft card randomly. Basically, the only way I can really explain this is they take a giant hat, probably Abe Lincoln's, and they put a bunch of papers in there that have a date on them. And it's a starting date and an ending date for, let's say, February 2nd, 1994 to May 5th, 1994. Now, if you were born in between those two dates, guess what? You won. And that means you're going to war. And they will usually decide whether you're going to... Now, I don't know how it decides whether branch you go into, but, yeah. Yeah, you guys are probably going, well, that sucks. And it's like, if you're between 18 and 25, it's going to happen. You're going to be part of that lottery. I hate all you people that are 25 right now. I really do. But, because I'm 20 and I'm sitting here like, oh boy, I'm going to go to war. Lovely. One more thing I got to deal with, right? But, in tune to that, what can we do as Americans to prepare? Like I said, if you played Modern Warfare 2, Russia don't take shit. They will come and kick your ass. And if you played Wolverines, that's my favorite level on Modern Warfare 2, one of my favorite levels, you know that Russia invades. Now, the precursors leading up to that is they were able to get a satellite, disable our system, so we didn't know where they were coming, and then they attacked Washington, D.C., leveled everything between New York and Washington, D.C. in theory, and it just like, it was, you know, it was crazy. But, what... Like, can that really happen? I mean, well, the ACS module they used in Call of Duty does exist, kind of, but it hasn't come to that point yet. We don't know, though, because, I mean, as far as I know, I haven't heard any satellites, American satellites going down, and the Russians, you know, I don't know what's going to go down, but basically the Russians have the manpower to invade us. And they can come from both sides, because you got to remember, Russia's a very big country. They come to the Pacific, they come to the Atlantic. So, we can get nailed by both sides. And there's a lot of other countries out there that are on Russia's side that are nearby us. For instance, like, a lot of people in South America probably will be on the Russian side. Mexico, we just don't know. I mean, I think they're a little bit too busy working on their crack and stuff. But, you know, there's a lot of countries around us. And there's a lot of countries out there that are... on the side of Russia. And, I mean, honestly, if we push their buttons, and we push them, like, you know, honestly, is Russia over in Iraq and Afghanistan over there, you know, bitching us, you better leave, we're going to invade you guys, we're going to fight you? No, they're not. They left us alone during our conflicts, except for back in the Cold War. And they probably would leave us alone during our conflicts. But of course, we're the good guys. America are the good people. So we got to go out there and be the aid to everybody. I mean, the world got along without the U.S. for a long time. And now, you know, the U.S. takes care of everybody, which I don't agree with. I think we should take care of our allies, but not everybody else. The Ukraine, if you've been paying attention, the Ukraine has been under some great anarchy. I actually support a lot of the stuff that's been going on in Ukraine, the revolts and stuff, you know. People are opening their eyes and seeing what the truth really is, and they're saying, hey, we don't want it anymore. So, with the Russians coming in, I don't know which side they would have been on. Personally, I think they would have been inside the government, but we don't know. Russia's one of those guys that, they're kind of like those little Russian dolls that come apart. Like, I mean, if you think about it, all those Russian dolls could be the same, but once you get to the last one, it's a different color. And you're like, I didn't expect that at all. That's kind of how Russia's worked in the past. I mean, you open it up, all these dolls up, and then there's a little doll at the end, and you're like, well, I was not expecting this. Like, it's a totally different thing. It could be like a jelly bean at the end. You're like, what? I wasn't expecting a jelly bean at the end. So we really don't know what Russia will do. I mean, I'm not putting it past them. That I think they backed off because they're prepping more. I mean, I think when they were going into the U.S., stupid screen. I think when they went into Ukraine, my bad, not the U.S. They were, they actually had, I can't remember where it was. I read this thing where it showed like how the Russians were going to invade the Ukraine, or how it was supposed to work. And, well, that was the Ukraine. Ukraine, if you've looked at it on the map, Ukraine's a little bit smaller than the U.S. And since they're an anarchy, it's kind of one of those things where, it's a lot easier to get in there. So I think what Russia's doing personally is they're prepping. Like, they're saying, oh, we still want to invade the Ukraine, but we've got to get ready. Because if the U.S. knocks on the door, we got to have a shotgun at the back waiting to answer them, kind of thing, if you think about it that way. But let's try to I kind of think I've explained it enough. Chance of invasion, all that kind of fun stuff. We're going to war. I've covered the draft. Now I'm going to cover what we can do as Americans to prep. So, if we do go to war, and something like that does happen, we are going to probably be in a big shitstorm. I'm just going to say it. It's going to be crazy. I mean, between fighting overseas, how many countries we're in, this is actually going to be a war. There's a chance Russia could invade us. We have a lot of stuff going down very, very soon. So what can you do to prep? Basically prep. Now this is actually going out. This isn't just for the West Coast anymore. This is going out to the entire United States of America. This is what you need to do to prep. Okay, we're looking at invasion right now. And what invasion means is that this guy over here doesn't like this guy over here. So he's going to go walk over to this guy's side and take over his property. And it's just a little bit bigger than that, though. It's basically like I use with a lot of terms. It's basically the big kids take their dicks, throw them out on the table, and see which one's bigger. The bigger one walks away. And this does sound really weird to say it, but it's very true. Russia is the bigger one. They're you don't mess with Russia, like I said. So right now it's kind of the point where both sides are like getting it big, so they can be like, "Oh, I got a bigger one than you." So that's what's kind of going on right now, and this could be a major thing where we could lead to invasion. So get stuff ready, have a go bag ready, because there could be an evacuation very fast. It could be literally you're sitting there watching, I don't know, what do you kids watch nowadays? Modern Family. You're sitting there watching some Modern Family, all of a sudden you hear that, and you're all like, oh crap. Every time I hear that, I sit there and I'm like, oh shit. And then when I hear it's just like, oh, it's just a test. Or someone's been kidnapped. I'm like, oh my god. Because I think it's like, every time I hear that, and I'm like, oh crap, now what? Because I think it's going to be like a big deal evacuation. But that means what you're going to want to do is you're going to go get one of those emergency broadcasting radios. And I think if I'm correct, I don't actually own one, but I know a guy that owns one. And basically what happens is if there's an emergency broadcast, it automatically turns on and broadcasts the emergency broadcast. And it gives you information and all that kind of stuff. But for wherever you live, it's probably going to be something like there's an invasion going on, you need to get only what you can carry, means a duffel bag, guys. I'm not talking you bring like 40 suitcases. Women, sorry, I had to say that because, a lot of women out there would be like, I can't leave without my entire house. Well, guys, your entire house will be leveled, so don't worry. All your stuff's going to be destroyed. And I think, would you really give your life for those shoes? I don't know. I don't know how crazy you people are out there, but they actually have duffel bags. I have a regular, real, plain old duffel bag. It's one of the, not plain old, but it's one of the military ones, the ones that have the straps on it. They're the ones they go to, out in the field, when they're going away, they come with. But basically make it something you can put on your back is what I'd have to suggest. Something you can work as a backpack type For you guys out there, run your Alice packs, man. I mean, it could go down there. But one thing you got to watch out for is that the government, our government, could throw us into FEMA camps. Yeah, I just said it, FEMA camps. You're like, what's FEMA? What's a FEMA camp? Well, FEMA is this ridiculous excuse for protectors, I guess you could say, fixers of problems. And basically, lately, FEMA camps have been popping up everywhere, where basically what happens is for the society's own protection, we're going to take all the people we don't like and put them away. And a lot of other people, you know, that's basically what a FEMA camp is. And so, what does that mean to us? Well, keep your eyes open. Don't wear the blinders, you know? Don't look straight forward. Take the blinders off. Look around. See what you're getting yourself into. If you hear of an evacuation, look into it as fast as you possibly can, because they may try to funnel you into a FEMA camp. And that's a bad thing, because you ain't getting out of FEMA camp. It's a modern-day concentration camp, if you want to think of it that way. Yes, and it is I say concentration, guys. It's not a prisoner of war camp. It's a concentration camp. It's a modern-day Auschwitz, if you want to think of it that way. I don't know what will be going down in there, but history always repeats itself. So, who knows? We could be the next Germany. I don't know. Not saying that Obama's Hitler, but, you know, it's always bound to repeat itself. Something always happens where history loops and loops and loops and loops. And it's like, problem is because no one wants to pay attention or read history, and no one wants to try to prevent it. So basically, that's what I have to say. And then with that survival pack, me personally, it's going to be a survival pack, not a bug-out bag. I ain't running bug-out bag. I don't run bug-out bags. Bug-out bags are if you are trying to get away from something where you have some place to go. The problem with that is, though, is if you have a bug-out bag and you find out everyone's being funneled into a FEMA camp, you have a bug-out bag, and what do you have in there? Probably clothes, some sort of food supply, but nothing really to survive. Keyword, survive. Because it may come down to you going up into the mountains and becoming a mountain man. So, that's why I say, brothers with an Alice pack. I'm a brother with an Alice pack, and I believe in Alice packs 100%. I think if I ever had to go to court and testify, I'd ask for put my hand on an Alice pack, not a Bible, because I believe in those things. They are awesome. And so, that's why I say, you know, make it so it's a backpack, not something you carry. Bring stuff in there like, here. Give me 1 second. These things, more often than not, will save your life. Waterproof matches. You can get them for like, I got a pack of 4 for like $2 at Walmart. And, what you can do is there's for like $2.79 or $2.97 there too. You can get a little orange container. I don't know where it is right now. I may post another video later if I find it, so I can show you guys what it is. But waterproof match. If you look at a waterproof match, it looks like a match. It acts like a match, but you feel the head of it. It's not gritty like the other stuff. It's like has a wax over it, but best part about it is it's sandpaper on this side. It's not that like grit stuff. That stuff can actually rot away in water. This stuff right here, it's sandpaper. It is literally like sand and glue mixed together and then applied on a piece of paper. So if you have a piece of sandpaper, which I suggest you bring with you, you can strike it. And then if you don't know how to work a match, I'm going to show you guys. Take your match in your hand like this. These are kind of a bitch to light, so I'm just going to let you know ahead of time. You want to put your finger down on the match head, onto the sandpaper, and strike. Boom. Just like that. And it's actually, it's a pretty intense flame. and I think they're, you know, perfectly fine. Like I said, you can get 4 packages of 40 matches. 40 matches per pack. And they are Coleman waterproof matches. I don't know what that says down at the bottom. Oh, the Outdoor Company, because you need to know it's the Outdoor Company. But so I mean, you know, 40 waterproof matches. That's a lot of matches to really work with. They don't have the white phosphorus, so they're not strike anywhere matches. I wish white phosphorus. Is it white? I don't know what it is, but you know the white stuff on the tip. They don't have those anymore. I think it was because people were using them to make bombs or something. But if you find strike anywhere matches, though, I would suggest you buy as many as you possibly can. Those are good things to have. But $2, 4 packs of 40. That means 4 of these put together. Great little $2 investment right there. And I'm just showing you that right now, so if you don't see my other videos, you can survive on just with these, honestly. If you have a knife and these, you can survive. You have your fire making right here. Your knife can be everything else. So I carry at least a couple of these in any survival pack you take, even if you're going camping. It's always a good idea. But I've reached 20 minutes. So it's a little over 20 minutes now, so I'm going to tell you guys later on more survival stuff. I'll probably do a video later tonight of some more survival items that I've picked up in the recent. And yeah, guys, you really need to stay safe out there. You really need to pay attention. You need to ask questions. You need to get your own answers and research them, because there's a lot of stuff going on that you guys don't know about. Media is covering up very, very well. It's starting to get pretty intense, you know, and this could lead to something where fit could hit the shan very, very fast, and I'm talking some big fit. So guys, you just please ask questions, get answers from reliable sources, do your own research, don't trust what you hear on the media. So get your survival packs ready. I'll start teaching you guys how to build them, because it's going to be a lot more intense getting them ready. And yeah, Godspeed everybody, and have an awesome rest of your day.